I mean, it's insane. So they rig the search results, they take all the data from their sellers, they send it to the manufacturer, they then cause a loophole to sell it through a fake third-party seller to get around the Indian legislature, and all the top brass at Amazon knows this. How does Amazon have $600 million in private brand sales if the third-party sellers are actually third-party sellers? Oh, that's right, because Amazon's cheating. Could say they're criminals. Amazon caught red-handed. So this really great deep dive in Reuters. Amazon copied products and rigged search results to promote its own brands, documents show. Reuters has now reviewed these documents. A trove of internal Amazon documents reveals how the e-commerce giant ran a systemic campaign of creating knockoff goods and manipulating search results to boost its own product lines in India, practices it has denied engaging in, and at least 2 top Amazon executives reviewed the strategy. Sound familiar? Where else have we heard that happening? Oh yeah, that's right, in the United States. Here's a video we did a year and a half ago, April 2020. Some executives had access to data containing proprietary information that they used to research best-selling items. If you've been listening to the show, we've literally been talking about this for months. Of course they're using this information. The problem is that no one is able to regulate this or enforce this. Of course Amazon's using this information. Now, here's the interesting thing. My last point there in that highlight of that clip was that no one's able to enforce or regulate this, right? Now, here's the interesting thing. In India, they've passed regulation to prevent this exact thing from happening. And we've talked about this on the show a number of times. India has regulation in place that says if you're a foreign-owned, foreign-controlled marketplace, you cannot do 1P and 3P. You got to do one or the other, right? You can either be an e-commerce company that sells 1P products where you buy the product, you hold them on balance sheet, and then you resell them, 1P. Or you have third-party sellers and the inventory is not owned or controlled by you. It's sold by third-party sellers, marketplace, right? And literally, this is law in India. This is actually a great law. I've been very pro this, even though, yes, it's a form of protectionism, tech protectionism. How does this problem even happen? If Amazon isn't supposed to be able to sell its own 1P stuff, if it's got third-party sellers, that's the craziest, maddening part of this whole thing. And I'll go through and I'll take you through and show you, yes, all the things that Amazon did, which is documented, and they've got the goods on them to show that, they're just cheaters. And you could say they're criminals. And so, but let's start with that. What loophole did they do to even sell first-party products? And here is the crazy thing. You got to scroll way down in this report, but they do touch on it. Credit to Reuters to kind of really recognize that. In early 2016, Amazon private brand employees were internally noting the success of Accenture, a clothing brand they had launched on Amazon.in, that's Amazon in India, in partnership with a seller. The seller owned the brand. Amazon designed the products. These are Amazon branded, Amazon designed products. Amazon is using all the data from other third-party sellers on the platform. It's all documented in this thing. And then they're saying, hey, seller, you own the brand, wink, wink. You own the brand. And then what this document shows is that they then favor the brand, which is technically sold by a third-party seller, but it's an Amazon product designed and created by Amazon. They get the manufacturer, then they're basically pawning out like just a puppet, just a facade of a seller to then act as the third-party seller to get past the regulation. But in the economics of it all, Amazon is getting their slug of this. And we know that because the actual documents here have revenue projections from selling their own first-party products. The 2016 document stated a goal: offer Amazon's own goods in 20 to 40% of all product categories on Amazon India within 2 years. Amazon would achieve profitability in its private brand business by only launching products that will provide more margin than comparable reference brand products. Amazon predicted private brand sales would reach nearly $600 million by 2020 in India. Riddle me this. How does Amazon have $600 million in private brand sales if the third-party sellers are actually third-party sellers? Oh, that's right. Because Amazon's cheating. I mean, it's insane. I mean, that's really what ratchets this up to the next level. This article goes on to talk about how, which Amazon executives actually reviewed all these documents. This guy right here is one of them, Russell Grandinetti, the head of Amazon International Consumer Business globally. That's the guy. He knew about this. He reviewed the documents. Of course he knew about this. And then the reporting goes into detail on how the employees at Amazon, they would go create a t-shirt line called Accenture. And then they saw that Accenture had a lot of returns. And then they ripped off a second t-shirt line, right? They said, oh, this one's performing really well, doesn't have the kind of returns that the first t-shirt we ripped off has. So let's rip off the second t-shirt and now make that our next version of Accenture. Literally what they did. And they have all the data. They know which one's performing, how it's performing, where it's performing better, which one's performing better in this situation, which one's performing better in that situation. And then they just take the measurements, they ship the samples to the manufacturer, and they say, here you go, make this. Oh, and we're Amazon, so we're going to order a bunch of this. We can commit to crazy high volumes, and you're going to give us the best pricing that you're going to give to anyone. And then they get their margins. They don't have to pay for the search results. They know they're going to be in the top search results. The company used a technique called search seeding to boost the rankings of Amazon Basics and Solimo brand goods. The report stated, we use search seeding for newly launched products to ensure that they feature in the first 2 or 3 product search results. So they rig the search results. They take all the data from their sellers. They send it to the manufacturer. They then cause a loophole to sell it through a fake third-party seller to get around the Indian legislature. And all the top brass at Amazon knows this. Big business, hundreds of millions of dollars. Probably now billions of dollars today. Crazy. Hi, I'm Alex. Thanks for watching the show. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, but even better, make sure to follow us on Odyssey, follow us on Rumble, and text us 203-646-5159. Text the word Monopoly. You'll be subscribed. You'll get updates about when we're going live, our latest videos, and we'll send you even a little goodie bag. And in the event that we all get banned from big tech, we'll still be connected.